Hey, so I want to make a new video going over my new farmer strat for endgame. So as you all know, the last video I posted was nerfed and pretty justified, of course, as it was really OP. So today, and pretty much last night before I even started streaming, I was thinking the next best strat would be Scarab farming, and it kind of really is. I'm not really sure if anything really beats this yet, but yeah, Scarab farming's really strong, and I'll show a map case in this video, then go over it real quick. So the basics is where you went back to basics. My correct atlas tree, back to basics, max scarab nodes, block, and that's pretty much it. You don't know what back to basics is. It essentially disables all lead mechanics, everything inside your map, outside of the current lead mechanic, which is Necropolis. So I'll show a map real quick, then I'll go over the whole atlas tree and everything else. So yeah, this part doesn't really matter that much. You know, do whatever, but you still have hard marks at the top. That's it. So these maps are pretty tough. I know the question is like, do you need MF gear for this? Can I clear this on a budget character? And for the most part, the answer is yes. While they are tough, almost died there, for example. There's a good chance you will die, to be honest, until you get hit buffs. You can do this with 0 MF gear and still make a lot of profit. You can do this with a little bit of MF gear. Just keep in mind, if you do with MF gear, it is really challenging until you get hit buffs. Then usually the map is smooth sailing. And yeah, as you can see, pretty much everything you pick up is just scarabs. It's a complete scarab farm and nothing else. You get a raw currency, raw divines here and there, but it's usually nothing big. Like there, we got some chaos. If you're wondering how much profit this is, it is quite big. I'll go back to the map. But yeah, this is first whole map. Since there's nothing in the map, you just call it a rare, then I'll leave. Killing the boss is optional. And some rares are really tanky because they have like 6 or 8 mods because we're using the Nemesis Scarab. Yeah. So killing the boss, I would say, is optional unless you are a non-MF character. Then you definitely want to kill the boss. If you're an MF character, you can get away without killing the boss. You can still make a lot of profit. So yeah, just to make this video short, I was going to leave the map here because this is the same thing for the rest of the map, and this map is pretty big. So yeah, that is the general gameplay, and what you're doing, you're just finding a bunch of scares, picking them up, and selling them. So let's go to the basics of the strategy. So like I said, it's a back to basic strategy. So no mechanics in your map, all scarab nodes, and you can use the current lead mechanic. So there's really nothing to atlas tree. You're just taking all map effect, all scarab nodes, some quant, and yeah, you block the bad scares pretty much. The options you have is you can take some nodes over here for like ambush scares or harbinger. I'm still unsure if I want to take these or not, because if you take these, you're less likely to get the divination scarab creation, which is the most valued scarab. But if you do take them, you get some really common high valued scarabs. Like the ambush scarab is worth quite a bit. So yeah, so about the strategy. So yeah, we're using 100 traders, 2 scarab of adversaries, and horn scarab nemesis. So this is a big one right here. It's very powerful. The reason why is synergizes very well with amplified artifacts, which gives you a fixed 50% increased chance to drop scarabs per monster modifier. So this is essentially 100% increased chance of scarab drops on every single rare in your map because it gives 2 additional modifiers. So yeah, very strong. It also gives the rare monsters a lot more quant and rarity, so you're also getting a lot more drops. So one thing about the strat is, how do you roll it? So rolling the map is pretty annoying. You kind of have to like bulk buy 50 maps and roll them all, but essentially you have to chaos spam your map until it rolls like a decent more scarab multiplier. So I usually roll until like 100% or more scarab multiplier, then run that map. So this one has like a 128%. Make sure it has no terrible mods, and then you can probably run it. This one has volatile cores, which is pretty annoying, but it's definitely runnable. Like I would run this, although high chance of dying, but yeah. That's just what you do. You just keep, using chaos orbs on your map until it gets a decent scarab modifier, 100% or more, and then you're good to go. Just watch out for some bad mods, as T17s do have some really deadly mods. Outside of that, like I'll say in the map, you can use with MF character or no MF. If you're no MF, I would highly recommend to make sure your character is strong enough to kill the boss, because your profits aren't going to be that high. If you're MF, you can get away without killing the boss and still have really good profits. For map layouts, any map works. Pick which one your favorite. Fortress is probably the best because the boss has no phase in, so it's really quick. You just kill the boss, leave. But yeah, profits is anywhere from like, I want to say 25d to 35d to be just an estimate here. Today on stream I was counting all my Scarab profits, and in pure Scarab profit it was 35 divines an hour in pure Scarab profit. Now that doesn't count the supplies of the map, but also didn't count any other drop. Like I was usually dropping 1 divine every like 8 maps or something, basic chaos drops, etc. So of course this also depends on the current Scarab prices, and of course, you know, a lot of people are doing this farm now, I've noticed, and so the Scarab prices will probably go down over the next few days. But even if this is like 30% less profitable than before, it's still a very, very strong farm. Like we're probably looking at least a baseline of like 20 this an hour if your character is strong enough and if you can use MF gear. So yeah, very, very strong farm. Definitely one of the stronger farms we have this league, and pretty much beats like any tier 16 farm as far as I know. I don't think any like tier 16 farm really beats this. So yeah, it is strong. Can't recommend it. And the only downside I think it is kind of boring, because back to basics just means no mechanics on your map, and no mechanics on your map is, you know, isn't the most fun. But if you want to make profit, definitely do this. And like I said, no MF gear is needed, but you will be getting a lot less Scarab drops, so make sure you kill the boss. If possible, I would at least try to put on a gold worm and 1 ventures. 30% quant does go a long way. Even 2 ventures, 40% quant, like it's like 28% more loot drops. It does go a long way. So yeah, that's the whole video. If you have a question, feel free to leave a comment below, or just come by my Twitch. Very good farm, very simple, very low investment. It's just a regular tier 17 map, and all these Scarabs are like extremely cheap, as I can just show you real quick. This is like 1 divine for 18, divine per 60, and like 1 divine per 40. So your investment is very, very low. Less than 1 divine per map. In every map you're coming out with over 3 divines of Scarabs. So yeah, really good farm, really good. And yeah, that's it.